SHOT Show 2015 with Rite in the Rain, talking to Ryan. How you doing, sir?
Good. How you doing?
Good. Just like a little bit of background on the company. When was it founded? When was it started?
Sure.
Having spent some time in the Pacific Northwest, in particular Tacoma, I can venture a few guesses as to why someone would come up with water-resistant or waterproof paper, because it's almost impossible to write anything on paper in that area the majority of the year.
Sure, absolutely. Obviously, the Pacific Northwest is known for our rain. So yeah, between October and March, you don't see anything but. So yeah, actually 100 years ago, next year, it's our 99th year as a business this year. So next year's our centennial. Jerry Darling, a entrepreneurial kid, developed a tablet. It was like a wood tablet that he coated with this special paint.
A paint?
A paint, yeah.
Okay.
And that paint resisted water, and you could write on it. So a piece of wet wood you can't write on, but this paint, you could.
Yeah.
So a couple years later, he started developing paper, and it was hand-dipped in this special solution that he has.
Right.
And that solution then can protect the sheet of paper from the water, and you can write on it. So
right.
He hand-dipped these sheets, hung them on a bicycle chain system in his shop, and
to let them dry and to cure or whatever.
And the next day he took them down, clipped off the bottom corner that had a goop pile in it, and he clipped that off, and that's how you could tell it was a Rite in the Rain sheet, because the bottom corner was clipped off. Flash forward 99 years, we now, obviously we make our paper a little bit differently.
Well, let's hope so.
The formula is much more environmentally safe than it was way back when, very solvent-based back in the day, and now it's a water-based formula.
Right.
But the technology is...
So no, wait a minute, you're not hand-dipping these?
We're not hand-dipping.
So you're not an Amish shop?
No.
Okay.
No. Very little handwork. We have a very high-tech coating machine that runs our paper through.
And like you're saying, different materials, or maybe materials is the wrong term, but a different solution, because like you said, there's, especially in the Pacific Northwest, a very environmentally conscious community overall. Seattle, Tacoma, that entire part of the nation is for the most part pretty environmentally conscious.
Yeah, absolutely. And our coating, just to put it in perspective, you could take our paper, put it in a white recycle bin, and it'll recycle just like any other paper. Okay. It doesn't affect the coating process, doesn't affect the recycling process at all. So the coating is very, very minimal impact. But of course, it's a major impact when you're trying to write something out in the rain.
Yeah. Now, it's before we get into some specific new products that you might be having.
Sure.
Historically, obviously, the product is. Would it be considered waterproof or water resistant?
We call it water resistant. It's still a wood-based paper, so you could burn it, you could tear it, you could recycle it just like regular paper. The difference is it's not going to turn to mush when you write on it in the rain. Right. Now, if you take it underwater and you're using it underwater for half hour and a half, it's going to start getting soft. Right. Now, it'll begin to soak. In other words, it'll begin to absorb some of the moisture. And it will biodegrade over time. Okay. But we have had several customers tell us that they left their notebooks out in the field, lost it, forgot it, whatever. They come back the next field season, find that notebook on the ground, and it's still fine. An example, like, and of course, having been in the area quite a bit, maybe they're out there during the wintertime, gets dropped in some snow, some soft snow, or gets covered by snow. It's almost, I can testify, it's very frustrating and virtually impossible to find something when you drop it in the snow. Yeah, absolutely. And so you're talking about a guy who comes back after this has been in the snow, obviously a frozen state, but then you've got snow melt, it's been saturated in water, it goes back the next season, and he's still able to use it. Absolutely. The best case scenario, the worst case scenario I should say, is a guy, he told us the story about a year ago. He had dropped his notebook into a very shallow pool in Louisiana. So it was about a 2-foot deep lake, a very small little pond. Swampish, probably. Swampish, yeah. Very muddy. So he dropped it in there. It was too murky. He couldn't find it. Next year he runs a environmental training class. So he brings his class back to that same spot the following year and sees his notebook in the bottom of the pond, fishes it out, data's still fine. And of course, Louisiana, we're talking about an entirely different, well, not entirely different, but a different environment, so to speak, because it's warmer. There's probably micro
micro elements that would possibly attack the paper product or attack the notebook, and still had it. Now, is there any tear resistance that is that you find that you experience with your product?
No, it tears like regular paper.
Just like regular paper.
Now, what it doesn't tear like a soft, mushy piece of paper, though. So it would tear like a dry piece of paper, strong.
Even if it's in a wet environment.
Even if you're out in the rain.
Well, so what's new? What do you have that's coming out that's going to be new?
So for this year, what we have is a couple new things. We've got covers, corridor covers for our notebooks. We've had that for several years now.
Can we see a couple of examples?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So we've got corridor covers for our notebooks. These kits here. This one here is our 980T bound book. It's got a corridor cover. The book is showing on the back, and of course it comes with our all-weather pen. And that brings up another concern or question that everyone says: what do I need to write with on Rite in the Rain? That's about the biggest question we get at every trade show and every event we're at. And I answer it really simply. Most pens work fine on Rite in the Rain, but most pens also don't work when they're wet.
Right.
So what we offer is...
And that was, I guess, a double entendre, right? Because you said they don't write, and I just said right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we offer all-weather pens, and they'll work underwater, they'll work in all sorts of conditions, upside down, terrible temperatures, all that. And then, of course, the other side is any pencil works great.
I was just going to say, traditionally with just regular paper, if you're in a highly humid condition or a highly humid environment, or maybe rain or a light rain, a mist, in my experience, usually we go to pencils because a pencil will write in that environment.
Absolutely. Yeah. Pencils are fantastic.
And with your coating, pencils apply just fine.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, pencil is fantastic. And so we've been asked for years to make tough mechanical pencils.
Okay.
And we've always said, well, any pencil works great. We don't really need to do that.
Right. Why bother?
Well, but we now offer a made in the USA, tough, uber tough mechanical pencil, 1.1 millimeter lead. Doesn't break when you're on the field. It's got replaceable erasers, and it comes with 7 leads, which last a long time.
Okay.
They're really tough lead.
Any special proprietary thing about the lead, or is it just standard pencil lead?
It is just standard pencil lead, and the thing is, it seems like it is proprietary because that stuff just does not break. It's tough lead.
Really, not brittle.
Not brittle, yeah. Usually a mechanical pencil, you drop it on the ground, you've broken 3 of the leads that are inside.
Yeah.
Not
you
true
try and extend it, and a piece drops out, another piece drops out.
Absolutely, not true with these.
Okay. How about crayon?
Crayon works great, actually.
I'm just thinking outside.
No, it's true. We actually had an FAA show we were at years ago, and we had this big. It was like a mural collage type project we did, where we had all these little 4x4 squares cut up, and we had crayons out because these kids range from like 10 to 17 years old, so we thought, this could be fun.
Or my age, because I'm the kind of guy that probably needs to use crayons from time to time.
So they colored according to a little color chart we had on these little 4x4 inch Rite in the Rain squares, and they did it underwater.
Oh.
And so when they were done, then we put it up on this big mosaic pattern on the wall, and it formed a big poster.
Fantastic.
It was pretty cool.
Fantastic. What about paint?
Oil paint is great. Acrylic paint is fine if it's dry. Just like all the art mediums. If it's water-based, you're going to have an issue. Watercolor, obviously, it's going to wash right off the sheet.
Right. Probably just, drain right off. If it's at an angle, it's just going to drip down and run off.
It's just going to run right off. Acrylic will if it's dry. It'll be okay. Oil paint's great. Oil pastel is great. Again, because they're oil-based, so they're not going to have a problem with the water.
Right. Okay. And I keep saying right, and it's Rite in the Rain. So
Rite in the Rain.
That's what I get for being, anything else that's coming out new?
Well, so this year, what we did is this is new for our customers. It's really great for our dealers. What we've done is we've taken what we call our core products. So all the products that are the most popular for all sorts of different industries. And what we said is, okay, we've labeled these our core products, and we're going to make these available in 4 different colors. We're known as the Yellow Company, Yellow Notebook Company. We have for years. And then about 10 to 15 years ago, we started doing the green and tan for our military. Well, this year we started doing black. So now we have 4 colors, and we said, okay, we're going to have these core products, and we're going to have them available in all 4 colors. So for our dealers, it's great, because now they can order pack quantities and pack prices. And for our customers, they're like, well, I like this product, but I want it in this color. And oftentimes we say, well, we don't have that. Well, now we do.
Okay, very good. Is it possible to have a special, individual cover or something done at the factory?
Custom printing?
Custom
Absolutely.
printing.
We do a ton of custom printing.
Okay.
There's a lot of products out there that folks want something special. It's not something we have off the shelf, so we do custom printing for that. We also do a lot of custom printing for promotional products as well.
Very good. Yeah. Now, Ryan, we've got a little sample running over here, and just kind of give us an, we've got a tub of tub of water.
This is what we call our water feature. This is one of the displays we have available for our dealers. And so
Did you guys get this from Bellagio or?
Yes. We make these, most of this ourselves. This is just a self-contained water unit that runs all day long, and we've got these notebooks, Rite notebooks, that sit in there. This thing's been in there all day long.
I was just going to ask you, this is a genuine Rite notebook.
It's been a genuine Rite notebook, yeah. So it's been written on.
So it's been running for about, what, 5 to 7 hours? Between 5 and 7 hours, would you say?
Yeah, it got turned on at probably 7:30 this morning.
Oh, so yeah, I'd say, at least about maybe even 8 hours.
Yeah, so, and you can see I've got my all-weather pen here, and it writes on very saturated, very wet paper without tearing.
And you're writing as the water is running over it as well.
And you see that it's not washing off.
Very good. The texture is a little stiff, and this would be as it would come out of, say if you had one shipped to you, it would be a little stiff, similar to this. Obviously, this has been exposed to a little bit of water here.
Yeah, and I can show you. You can probably get a good view of the texture here as I flip through the paper. It feels very much like just tough, regular wood-based paper, and it is.
Yeah, it feels like a thick page of paper.
Yeah.
A little bit of a
grit?
Almost a wax-like sensation is what my tactile sense is picking up.
Yeah, what you're feeling there is the coating. And
right.
That coating does two things. One, obviously, it sheds water.
Yeah.
And two, what it does is it creates a nice surface for writing on.
Yeah.
Because it can't be too slick, or else it'll skip.
Oh no, and when I say waxy, it's not excessive by any stretch of the imagination. Not like if I'm trying to think of something else that would have a wax coating to it. It's just that's a texture that I'm picking up just a little bit, just a slight,
like a sticky, yes, almost.
But a slight stickiness too. Yeah,
right.
Yeah. And the paper does feel like it's thicker than a typical notebook paper, and that could be because of the texture of the paper itself. That could also be part of the coating. But very nice, very pleasant to touch, you might say, and nice.
What we call our Polydura cover there.
Right.
Yeah. So we have different color products. This is our Polydura. We've got what we call our Field Flex here. It's more of a leatherette almost.
Okay.
Very flexible. We also have what we call our Fabric Void, which is more of a bound book, a traditional bound book like you'd see.
Very good.
In a textbook type thing. So,
well, Ryan, thank you very much. I really appreciate the information and the background of the company. We'll be talking to you soon, okay?
Sounds great.
Okay.
Thank you.